Welcome to Cloud2Disk, what you can do on-prem, I can do in the cloud. Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm gonna wish myself happy 2 years of YouTubing here in this episode, because looking back, 2 years ago, pandemic got started, and I thought, let's do some YouTube. And now, hundreds of videos later, we're still at it apparently, and I look at the to-do list for videos I want to do, and it keeps growing. So yeah, I guess I'll stick around in this little thing. Anyway, to celebrate the 2 years thing, I'm gonna do a giveaway. There are links below, but check out at the end of the video on perhaps specific instructions for improving your chance to win. Anyway, I got a real treat for you today. Codename Cloud2Disk. So one of the main issues with the cloud is that, you know, access to hardware, and I got plenty of hardware, is difficult, right? Borderlining impossible in some cases, and one of the main reasons for a lot of folks to say we gotta stay on-prem is because there are pieces of hardware, there's pieces of processes that requires files on disks and printers and USB devices and stuff like that that is really hard to integrate with when you're in the cloud. And I have been thinking about this problem for a while. I've been doing a lot of prototypes, and I want to show you the latest and hopefully greatest prototype. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, then I don't think this video will ever air. Then I'll record something else. But I'm pretty sure this will work. Anyway, so let's get right into this, because there's a lot to uncover here. So here is a Cloud Business Central. This is important. And yeah, I hope you can see that this is a Cloud Business Central. And let's just actually look at how this works at all. So I have a small demo page here that kind of can show some of it. It's called the File Explorer. So here it opened right away. You can see that these are, well, I hope you, well, I'll prove it in a second. These are the files on my C drive. I have a folder called demo. These are the files in the folder. And we can see they're just files here. So if I now go to a prompt, we can see here, let me make this way bigger. We can see that I am in C demo, which is the same as we have C demo here. So the easiest way to, we create a folder called, how about we create a folder called YouTube? I created a folder called YouTube. We go back into Cloud PC. I hit refresh. We have a folder called YouTube. I can go into the YouTube folder and let's put a file in that folder. So I go to upload file, and let's go to my demo files here, and I will upload the LAM. How about that? So now we have a file in this folder. Let's go back onto my machine and check the YouTube folder. We have a file called LAM. So clearly, and we can see that the date stamp is now 5 minutes to 3 on a Sunday. I have full file control here. But maybe I want to do something more on this file. So maybe the baby lamb here. No, how about we run MS Paint on it? So I put in the name of a command, in this case mspaint.exe, and I check the don't wait for completion, because it's not like MS Paint is doing something and it's returning data or anything like that. So we're just opening up. So I'll say execute command on file, and there we got the LAM inside. Paint. And since this is the file running, everything is normal. You know, I could draw. Let's do something nice. Can we do something? Well, hello. So we have drawn on this one. We will save it on the machine. Now maybe I will actually want to download the file. So again, now we need to think about this. So I am in the cloud. So I'm hitting download, which means that now I have downloaded the file that is on my machine already, and it opened up on a different screen. So here. So that is pretty fun, and I can go somewhere else on the machine if I want to. I could go to let's go to projects YouTube, where all the source code from the YouTube channel is, and we get that, and we can see that there's a bunch of stuff that we have made together over these 2 years. Surprisingly many projects here, and files are files, and this is apparently .NET in AL. I did never implement a go up, so I have to go up like this. So let's take a look at how does this actually work, and let's start here. So here I've started an empty new extension. I have created in my app JSON. Let's actually make this nice. I have created a dependency to Cloud2Disk, which means that if I go into a random piece of code, I can create a variable. Let's call it Cloud2Disk. Say that's a code unit, and let's see that that's the Cloud2Disk. And from that code unit, I got some functions. We can see that I have a function called register. Register takes some parameters. It takes a tenant and a host. So maybe these, I've been going back and forth what is a host and what is a client, because it's getting weird. Anyway, the host in this case is the computer or the server who are hosting the files, or the hardware, or whatever we're doing with the local machine. And it takes a proxy. I'll get back to that in a minute. And it takes a secret. So what we can do here is that we can register a connection from our tenant to a specific host, meaning that a PC sitting somewhere, in this case I'm just connecting to my own PC, through a proxy. That's an important part. And we have a secret, so we can make sure that security is secure. And what can we do then after we are registered? Well, we can get files, meaning that we can ask, give me the files on a certain path, and there's a temporary table that will return all the files. Whoops. Let's see if we can do this easily. We can and for some reason that's actually not here, but we can use the, probably not public from this perspective. I'm sorry about that. Okay, sorry, I just realized something, that the life of a prototype and the first time ever shown to anyone, and that anyone is you, because you are a subscriber to the channel. Thank you for that. If you're not a subscriber, quickly hit that subscribe button, and the thank you will also include you. Anyway, so in this case, put file, well, you give it a file name and you give it a stream, and that will upload file name including a full path. There is a get file. That was what I was tripping over. There's a get file also that will download a file, but apparently I marked that internal right now. Get printers, so we can get what printers are on the local machine, and there are prints. I'm not going to show print today in this video. I'm going to show you print a bit later using this. And I have a receipt printer. That's going to be fun. There's a shell command, which we saw with MS Paint. So we can run stuff on the PC. And this is it so far. So files in and out and print. So let's talk about the components, the pieces here. So clearly the register command told us that we have some components. So let's talk about the host first. So for this to work, something needs to run. So on my PC here, there is something running. But actually, let me do something first, because now I am on EH Surface Book 3. But let's ask a different server. How about we ask EH Linux, which is a Linux machine of mine? So the path on Linux, then perhaps we want to look in /var. So we'll refresh that one. And now I get files from a different machine because I asked to talk to a different host and a different path. And now I am in a, you can see this is Linux, whatever you want to say. It works fine. Same way. I don't know if there's anything useful on this machine, but it works. So on the host, there's a program running, and let's find that program. Let's see if I can find it here. We actually almost saw it because we were in the Windows shell, and if I'm here, then we can see this is the console version. And we can see here that the Cloud2Disk right now is called Cloud2Disk File Access, or the Local Access Module, or it can have lots of names. And we can see here that it connects to a proxy, and then it registers itself as name. It gets that from a setting file with the secrets and all the good stuff. And then it's just waiting until it gets incoming tasks. So one of the problems that often arises with these kind of things is that networking gets complicated. But in this case, it kind of works the same way as let's like Skype or Teams or anything, Spotify, or you name it. That doesn't really matter how the connections goes. It will figure out to connect. So there's no firewall set up. There's no routing set up. There's nothing like that. You just run this thing. It connects to the proxy entity, and then everything is real time from that time on. And we can see that apparently it also lost connection at some point, and then it just reconnects right away. And here are all the stuff that we have just done on this one. And the one here is the same thing. So this is just my Linux machine. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can. So this is my Linux machine. So we only did some. The incoming task was just the files version here, but multiple hosts can connect, and you just specify what host you want to work with. So in the old days, you would do //server name /path, and here the //server name is replaced with the host thing. So that's the host, and because apparently it's not, I don't know where it is right now. So I also got the this program running on Mac, so you can also talk to Macs, but not. I don't have it running right now. It can run. So the last piece we need to talk about is the is the proxy, and this is sitting here. So right now it's actually just sitting on an Azure website, and it uses a lot of cool features. So from the BC side, the only thing we can do from Cloud BC are web services, stateless web services, so that's the communication protocol from BC to the proxy, and then the proxy to this host actually talks to something called WebSockets, or the fallbacks to other protocols if in case of WebSockets not working. But WebSockets are typically working these days. So that is what I'm playing with right now, and maybe this can turn into a product. It's not really going to turn into an app because there is no. Well, at some point you can see that if I start my, I think I call it Print Explorer. I can get. Again, now I'm in the cloud, but I get the printers that I have on my machine, and actually not sure. Now this I should have just tested this before I. What is called? It's called printer management. Yeah, it doesn't work at this point, but it will work in the printer video where I'm gonna hopefully print from BC to a receipt printer through this. So here's hoping. Anyway, so I want to ask you guys, I want to ask you specifically, what on-prem functionality would you love to be able to do from the cloud through something like this? So right now in my top whatever list is that, file manipulation is clearly number one because that's what everybody asks for. Printing. So with this we could print just like universal print, or just like for nav printing and all things like that. I'm also thinking about, so it could be webcams, it could be USB devices, some sort of integration to stuff like that. I'm also thinking about a plugin kind of concept where you can if you create your own. Let me go back to this guy. So if you create your own DLL, so you compile a .NET, because all this is .NET. You compile a .NET DLL with a specific interface and types and all that good stuff that plugs into this one and enables the functions in that to be called from the code unit within your Cloud PC. So you can talk to your .NET code directly this way. Again, option, but I want to hear. I want to hear good ideas if you have one and you're willing to share it anyway. But that is what I'm goofing around with right now in the. I wonder if this could ever work department, which, to be fair, you have seen how this goes. I think it took a year from the first video about the compiler till the toolbox is now in app source, and actually that's a perfect segue to talking about the 2 years of YouTubing giveaway. So there's a link down below where you can register for the giveaway, and the idea is that I will offer 5 toolbox licenses, single user toolbox licenses, 1 year's license of that, if you participate and you're drawn. So we're gonna pick 5 winners to improve your chances of being picked. And this is where it gets interesting. We need a comment below, and then the almighty marketing department, run by my wife, will figure out who is the winner, who are the 5 winners. So please do that, and I will see you in the next video, and have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.